Hi, I'm Inessa. I am co-founder and CMO of Aviron. Everyone can hear me? This is good? I'm not used to mics. Okay. No, wrong way. Got it. Okay, perfect. Hi, I'm Inessa, co-founder and CMO at Aviron. Most of you probably don't know what Aviron is, so here we go. Aviron is a direct-to-consumer hardware, software, more rare for the Canadian tech market. So we're a connected rowing machine, but we are not the Peloton of rowing because we don't use classes like a lot of connected fitness. We actually use habit-forming psychology and game design to make working out fun and even addictive, which a lot of people tell me not to say. Don't say addictive, it's a bad word, but it's interesting. So this is our brand, just a little quick snapshot, our latest photo shoot. That's actually our Strong Series rower that just launched this past October. We're very proud of it. We've had a lot of good press. We're doing really well in the US, which is why you haven't really heard of us in Canada, but we are in Best Buy Canada now, which is exciting. A little bit on how we got here, give you some context. 2020, we launched the consumer market. Before that, like 2019-ish, we were B2B. 2021, we grew 6x year over year. We had a really good year. We raised 2 rounds. It was much easier to raise, I will say that. And now in 2022, we launched the new Aviron Strong Series. We're on track to grow 2.5x, which is respectable. And we're at over 50 employees, so we're doing pretty well. And all of that, a lot of it is happening in Canada. We only have 1 US employee, a great dev team in Vietnam, Taiwan. So we're international, mostly Canadian. Okay, what I learned. This is me stressing out 24 hours a day since 2020. So I'll try to do a really quick overview of some things that I learned. This is the secret. I kept it. Now I'm going to tell you all. This is the secret if you're a direct-to-consumer company. Okay, so really quickly, there's 4 ads up on the screen. These are real ads that we've been using in the last couple of months. Which ad do you think performed better? 1, hands up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're all disproving my point because yes, it is 3, but the point is it's not 3 because objectively it's a better ad or UGC does really well, which clearly everyone here knows. But it's because we tested it, and we test ads over and over again, and even when they do well, we continue to test them. And that's the learning, is that you have to test everything, but not just test it, you have to test it fast and methodically. Really what I'm describing is growth marketing, so I'm sure most of you are familiar, but it's the key to our success. It's testing, it's execution. Same idea with channels. We are still mostly on Google and Facebook. We spend a lot of that $10 million on Google and Facebook, but we do test across all other channels, trying to diversify away and not be stuck with one acquisition channel. So the key to success, there are no growth hacks, there's no magic formulas, there is no agency that's gonna fix it for you. Testing, and moving quickly. Brand is important, brand is my baby, although I manage growth, PR, partnerships, and everything else at Aviron. I do love the brand, but it was less important early on. You wanna get your product to market. You want the market to tell you where your brand should go. Don't spend a lot of time on brand early on. I don't recommend that. No one will give you the answers, like I said, and there are no growth hacks, but community is super key. Spend a lot of your time building community, talking to people. Anyone who will talk to you, anyone who will give you the time of day, talk to them. Don't ever say no. Okay, I'm running out of time. I'll go really quick. Okay. Culture is king, so something we learned more overarching. So culture is how your employees behave, work together day to day, regardless of whether you affect that or not. So whether you have a good culture or not, it's gonna happen. A good culture versus bad can make a really big difference to your company between success and failure. And a really strong culture, like Lululemon, can really transcend your company and change how you are. So, values. this is the easiest way to direct your culture. When we first started out, and one of our investors, Samsung Next, they told us, you need values, you need mission and vision. We're like, we've worked at companies that have values, it's so corporate. But you listen. When Samsung tells you, you need values, you listen. So we put in values in place. We figured out what was important to us, what got us this far. And it was a really good call because it made it very obvious which people and which processes made sense to the business and which didn't. So if you had two employees and both were really hardworking and both were intelligent, but one of them seemed to have a lot of friction at work and things weren't working out, and someone else is an A player, you should be able to look back at those values and be like, that's why, because their values don't align with the company values. It's a really easy way to take some control back for culture and create a better culture. Okay, values, sit down, hammer it out. This isn't that interesting. Stress test it, think about your employees. A couple values that we have at Aviron. We have too many. They say you should just have a couple. We have like 7. These are 3 that I think are interesting. I'll probably just talk about the first one because I've been talking for a long time. Value the people. So this is something that's been innate to Aviron since the beginning. We've been super transparent, really kind to each other and to our employees. Eventually, this made it into our values. So we are relentless about customer happiness. We'll do anything we can to make our customers happy. But respect and kindness is a two-way street. So what that means is if you call us up, you chat, you email us, and you throw a bunch of F-bombs and you disrespect our customer experience team, we will refund your order. We will stop your order because value the people is one of our most important values. Something like this is huge in terms of retention and attracting employees, and we really believe in it as well, obviously. Can't be bullshit, it has to be real. I won't talk about the other ones. Self-explanatory, we're competitive, being egoless is a great one. It's really important in a startup culture. You want to move quickly, and you don't want to be too precious about your ideas. You want everybody to be able to have a say. Really quickly, Alan kind of covered this, so I don't know if I'm not going to do it justice, but you really should work at a startup. You will learn so quickly. The last 2 years have been 3 years have been great, but it also feels like 10 years. I've learned more than I would have ever learned at any company. I would do more than I would at any company. If you come on to Aviron, and I'm sure any startup, you will have the opportunity to do so much, to build so much, to really go outside of your role. And if you're a founder or an early founder and it's hard to raise right now, and maybe the ecosystem isn't as good, this is the perfect way to find out if you're cut out for founder life. You will get a lot of FaceTime and one-on-ones and an understanding of what it really is. When you go home on Friday, even if you worked late, the founders are probably still there. So you really get to get a feel for what that is. Not any startup. Make sure startups align with your own values. Be honest with yourself. When startups tell you it's hard work, it is hard work. It's not a 9 to 5. You can't shut your laptop at 5 p.m. on a Friday and walk away. There's a lot of hard work. But also make sure that the startups you're talking to are being transparent about the trajectory of their business, about their cash flow, about their goals. If they're not transparent, either their culture is that of no transparency, and that will eventually bite you in the ass, we believe, or they may not have very good goals or a very good culture. So make sure you're asking these questions if you are interviewing and want to work with a startup. All of this was really just to get you to come work at Aviron. We've been really fiscally conservative. We've raised a good amount of money. We haven't blown it all. So even when a lot of tech companies are laying off, we are still growing. We have lots of positions open. I heard someone was the comedian product manager. We're looking for a product specialist. Lots of open roles. That's it. Yep, that's it. Thanks, guys. Questions? Do I do questions or am I? No? Questions. Yes. Sorry.
I gotcha.
A very quick question. You mentioned early on something about brand and performance. Would you say A versus B? What's good? Brand, performance? Where would you spend
Brand versus performance, 100% spend on performance. Do not spend money on brand until you have maybe some type of saturation in the market, or your market is extremely competitive and you need to build a brand.
Hi.
Hi.
I believe you were a co-founder in this business. I was wondering, how did you first test your idea in the market, and when you saw the traction and actually invested more time into it?
So I am secretly a late co-founder. My co-founder, I won't point him out because then everyone will want to talk to him. My co-founder is here today. So my co-founder, it was his idea, and initially it was a B2B business. So it was tested in the retail and business marketplace before it went to consumers. So that's how the product was tested. But realistically, if you have a product, you should go to market. That's how you'll find out if it's the right time to invest more money, to spend your life on this, is to go to market, even if the product isn't perfect. Hi.
I was convinced number 3 was the worst one. So can you just provide some from the idea of your marketing strategies and how you do that testing? Is it like all A/B testing? Is a little bit of detail you can go in there?
Yeah, I mean, it's more complicated than A/B testing. If anyone understands the Facebook ads ecosystem, at this point, you're really just feeding in a lot of creative and copy, and Facebook is working it out for you. So there's actually not a lot of insights outside of what you decide to hypothesize. That's the reality. So you're not truly A/B testing on Facebook and with ads, but you should be A/B testing across all your other platforms. So your website is a great example. Our Shop Now button has moved, changed colors like 50 times in the last 6 months because we're constantly A/B testing. Where do people want to see Shop Now? Add to cart. Is it orange? Is it black? So you're constantly testing. You're testing quickly in order to make incremental changes to your conversion rate.
What color is it now?
It's orange. It's orange.
You're about to see a lot of tech companies with orange buy now buttons.
Hey, Inessa, so, when you say that Aviron's addictive, right? If we compare, what you're building to, say, like a video game console like Nintendo or PlayStation, like what are the similarities and differences to something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Aviron has video games, so you can actually play some games, fun games that you can shoot bugs, you can run away from zombies. There's old school brick breaker inspired games. So those are actual games that are inspired by video games. But Aviron sits on a gaming platform, and the idea is the reason video games are addictive are not just because they're fun. There's points, there's competition, there's storytelling, there's a community. That ecosystem is what we're trying to bring to fitness. So you're excited to come back, because if working out is a chore and it's something on your to-do list, you're never gonna do it consistently. But gaming, if you enjoy gaming, you're gonna come back to it. If you enjoy watching Netflix or hanging out with your family, you're gonna come back to it. So we're trying to create an ecosystem that you want to come back to because you enjoy the journey itself versus just the end result. That's what I was gonna say.
Cool. Thank you so much. Can we get a round of applause?